What's good, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, coming to you very, very early in the morning with a post-game review show just for you guys, because it's week one. Might as well make a post-game review since I don't get online a lot. Might as well do a show for you guys. So everybody join in, and if you're watching it after the fact, it's okay. Poop happens. As clearly we're going to talk about within this game with our boy, the Yip Master. Yip! 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 Derek Carr. Are the haters out? Are they back again? Can we not get rid of them? We'll find out while I give my review of the Week 1 NFL Raiders versus Chokers in reverse, because I think we choked this week. But let's get right into it. I wanted to let people get online. I wanted to see some people. We got Ryan Thomas online, AJ Raider, my boy Dominic, Dark Atheist. That's okay, Dark. That's okay, Dark. You get it. I'm making a joke. Oh, my goodness. What a game. What a game, guys. At least we know we're live. You guys can see me. We got Tied the Raider, Buzz Ruck. I love you all. I recognize all your names, and I thank you guys for always tuning into this channel. What a horrific Derek Carr game. What a horrific offensive line game. It was all horrific. Whichever way you splice it, whichever way you look at it, it was horrific. But it was exciting. It was vibrant. It was a new season. The crowd was in Vegas Raider crowd. And for some damn reason, the damn Charger fans showed up. I heard them both in the stadium. It was like a divided nation. There was yin and yang on both sides. It was exciting. We didn't get the result we wanted, as you can see with the score down below, but it was exciting. We had Davante Adams for the first time being a Raider with Derek Carr reuniting. We got a new coach, Josh McDaniels, trying to get his first victory. It was a revenge game for the Chargers because we knocked them out of the playoffs, and Joey Bosa was talking crap last year about Derek Carr, about the Yips, and they possibly came back. Then we had the coaching staff from the Chargers talking a little bit of crap about the Raiders, saying how the Chargers deserve to go to the playoffs more, blah, blah, blah. You can watch those videos with Wi-Fi Willie, Simone Raider. They do the cutting up, the editing, all that great stuff to keep you informed, and I love them all. It was like a revenge game as well. Like I said, both teams were up for it. Both teams were excited. The fans were excited. I mean, it probably sold out. I don't know all the facts, but it probably sold out. It was a fun game. Throughout. Even with all the mistakes that we're going to get into with the stats and the O-line and the rushing game and the Derek Carr and the Josh McDaniels scheme and the system, we didn't see none of it in the preseason. We didn't see none of it in the preseason with Derek Carr especially. Our O-line was back and forth, players leaving, players being cut. I'm not going to say it's bad decision-making for Josh McDaniels and his scheme, but let's be quite honest with you. Derek Carr had no preseason reps. Derek Carr was going in blind. Davante Adams was going in blind. And they did a pretty good job. But Derek Carr's old enemy, like the maid in the Goonies, when the cars were passing her by and she was on the street trying to tell people about the diamonds, the maid in the Goonies, remember? She goes, yeah. 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 What? Yeah. Yeah. Remember that? That's what happened to Derek Carr. Aggressiveness got the best of him. Plus, he didn't have no practice to really calm himself down like professional MVPs need to do. Professional MVPs need to calm themselves down before a game, or they need the reps and the understanding. Derek Carr is an emotional creature. He's up, he's down. He's up, he's down. He's up, he's down. He's trying his best. And again, we can get into that in a little bit. I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for getting online. Yeah, and then I will take your fan chats in a couple of minutes. I haven't done this for a while, so forgive me if my timing's off. But let's just get right into it. Let's look at the stats. Let's discuss it from my point of view. Then we got a fan phone call or two at the end, and then we'll take some questions and your advice moving forward. And then I'm going to give an overall summary. While I'm looking at the stats, I'm going to give a summary of each position, and we're going to discuss why we truly lost this game. But it was fun and exciting. Sorry, guys, it was. It really was. Want everybody let everybody know, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. It really helps with the algorithm. I'm able to monetize again, so I got super chat back. I think there's going to be ads on this video. Maybe I can make a couple of bucks. But thank you guys for supporting. Go to my Twitter, go to whatever, hit that thumbs up. Help get me positive to continue making videos moving forward, because I need a little bit of positivity with my health issues and everything else going on. Thank you guys. I love you all. Let's get right into it. All right. Derek Carr was over-prepared for this game. Thank you very much. Derek Carr was over-prepared. I predicted he'd have over 300 yards. I predicted a victory in our Mondays with Mikey and Murph show. I predicted Derek Carr to have over 300 yards and start his MVP campaign. Well, that needed to be tailored down a little bit for this game. Derek Carr had close to 300 yards with 295, two really nice touchdowns, but three really bad interceptions with the Yips. Carr got sacked 5 times by their twin tower on 9/11 defensive line. Let's be honest, they played good. The Chargers defensive line, because we have a weaker O-line, which we're going to get into in a little bit. Derek Carr's, I don't know if that's correct. His QBR was 26.9. I don't think that's good. I do not think that is technically good. But I digress. Derek Carr had the yips. Derek Carr struggled, but he played brilliant at times. It was a game of half and half. Thank you so much, Joseph Matthews, for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. I promise I'm going to get to your guys' information in a little bit. I promise you I'm going to pay attention. You don't have to super chat for me to pay attention. But I just wanted to get my ridiculous thoughts out the way before we get into that. So, Derek Carr was ready, but he wasn't ready. Derek Carr, as his own words that we're going to watch in a minute, was a little too aggressive. He didn't have practice in the preseason. He didn't get his chemistry. He didn't learn how to get his mojo calm down for what he made in his mind the biggest game of his life. And I hope moving forward, Derek Carr can temper some of that and try to become more even-keeled. Because the truth is, the real emotional on-the-field quarterbacks probably don't play as good as they can be. Good morning, Raider Critique, one of my moderators. Love you, brother. Like the Tom Brady's of the world, Aaron Rodgers had a bad day as well yesterday, and he's like an even-keeled quarterback, not very temperamental. So I'm proud of Derek Carr, and the problem with this is the Derek Carr haters are out again. You know, they feel like they've been proven right time and time again. Oh, Derek Carr, Derek Carr, Derek Carr. And that's what annoys me about this game was that Derek Carr gave them fuel for that criticism. And it just, unfortunately, Derek Carr's an insecure type person, and he reads a lot of the own reports and the fan reports and the fan critique and et cetera and et cetera. And he lets it get to him a lot of times. And I'm hoping that's not the case this season. So Derek Carr shit the bed because he was getting pressure, and apparently Joey Bosa was right when he said Derek Carr gets the yips and he folds like a cheap chair. Derek Carr proved him right. Derek Carr held the ball at certain situations looking for his guys. Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, and Darren Waller. He typically did not target anybody else. So at times he waited too long. Then the offensive line broke down. He was worried from the defense with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa from the beginning of the game. They got into him really early, sacked him. He also threw an interception early. And that started Derek Carr's mind to be afraid every time. And then when he did drop back, he already pre-planned. He wanted to go to Waller, Adams, or whatever to get them started. And he had to throw the ball within 2.5 seconds. So the times he did not think his man was open, he took 3.5 seconds, and by that time, he is flat on his back. So, but let's give the Chargers credit. Their game plan was spectacular. Let's watch Derek Carr talking about his performance in the post-game press conference. Let's watch like a minute or so of it. And I just wanted to say, I'm actually very, very proud of Derek Carr and what he says here. He is showing some maturity. Let's watch.
Talk a lot about to win games, you can't lose them. 3 turnovers, I would imagine that's eating at you right now.
Absolutely. We did too many good things. I was way too aggressive. I came in with a very aggressive mindset, and especially with all the weapons we have and all that kind of stuff, and that's on me. That's decisions, being way too aggressive in certain moments, and on the one to Tay in the end zone, he beat his guy. I went and threw it, and the guy just as I threw it fell off of the other. I mean, that kind of crap is going to happen sometimes, but we can make a better throw maybe. Try and be better there, but I think we showed signs of doing some stuff really well, but it's on me whenever I'm trying to be too aggressive, force it to Waller down the middle, trying to bomb it to Tay, Hunter trying to jam it in there to him for a couple yards. I mean, just throw it away, and that's stuff that I will learn from him. I'll do better for it.
Again, you guys can take what you will from his post-game press conference. That was like the first minute. But to Derek Carr's credit, he had poise in this press conference. Back in the days, Derek Carr would get too emotional, put his head down, and then he would always defend his decisions. I did this, I did that, I had to throw it here, I had to throw it there. And he would technically always take blame, but he wouldn't give you the reason to blame him. He would take blame. It's on me, just like he did in this press conference. It's on me. I did this. I did that. He also defended it. He goes, oh, I tried to do this. I tried to do that. But the key word is he explained why he thinks he failed. Not that the team failed him. Not that the offensive line failed him. Not that the scheme or the play calling failed him. He explained how he failed himself. And he said, I was too aggressive. I came in with an aggressive mindset. I wanted to throw the balls to my guys when I probably shouldn't have. I should have looked for other reads. I came in too aggressive. And that's maturation. Derek Carr, from my recollection, does not take that type of maturation in previous years. He knows where he was wrong. He was too aggressive, wanting to get his guys the ball, blah, blah, blah. And I'm proud of him for understanding that fact. So as long as you understand the problem, that's where you can move on from the problem. And I liked this game. When he threw the ball, when he got the ball to his guys in pressure, he handled that shit like an OG. But he had problems. And he said he knows what those problems were. He basically was too ready for the game, too aggressive. He wanted to beat the crap out of the Chargers when he should have just let the game come to him. And I appreciate the fact that he said that. But a lot of you are going to take what he said at the end, where he said, oh, that's on me. That's on me. Everybody's going to go, that's what he always says. He always says, that's on me. I'm so tired of Derek Carr's words. Well, what do you want somebody to do? You want them to not take credit for the loss? Of course you want him to take credit for the loss. That's called being a leader in the locker room. That's called being a leader in the media. Derek Carr knew his problem and admitted it on national media. And he took blame. What more can you ask for? Okay? Little play here and there by everybody would have won us that game. Derek Carr, you should have brought in the confidence like you did at the NFL draft. You should have kept the mullet. I mean, you wore that with so much confidence at the NFL draft. Technically, you came into the NFL draft aggressive. But you should have kept the mullet. You should have continued peacocking for the world in week 1. Maybe you'll do it next week. But bring the mullet back. It's actually popular. It's trending in America nowadays, the mullet. All American mullets are back. Did you start that trend? You might have helped it. Bring back the mullet, Derek Carr. Bring it back for this week. Show that confidence. Don't let this game get to you. Bring back that confidence, brother. You are the man. You got a good team. All the weapons now. You had a great game, except for the interceptions and the sacks and the turnovers by a good Charger defense. Bring back the mullet, motherfudger. All right, let's look at the Chargers passing game just to get a difference. Justin Herbert, man, I hate that they always say he's better than Derek Carr. He gets ranked higher, this and that. But look, the guy's good. The guy's good. The guy is an excellent, excellent young quarterback. He came into this league better than Derek Carr. He started his first 3 years technically better than Derek Carr. Does that mean he's better all around? You know what? I mean, I'm not going to go there yet. And that's not what I'm trying to do. But he's a great, great young quarterback. The Chargers got themselves a winner and a possible, Super Bowl quarterback in the future. So do we. Derek Carr just takes a little bit longer to put a lot of things together, whether it be his emotions or this or that, or his struggles or whatever. Again, there's no comparison. They're two different teams, always two different coaches. Derek Carr's got a different system. Every year it seems like. Justin Herbert maybe only once so far. But long story short, he's a good young quarterback. He had 279 yards. He wasn't sacked. He didn't throw an interception. He wasn't sacked. That's the go-between between the two quarterbacks. He wasn't sacked. So, but our defense played good, and we're going to look into our defense, man. You know, they played really, really good. Again, it's week 1. And most Raider fans, we rush to judgment a little bit too much. I myself included. Because everybody gets drunk, watches the game. Oh, shit, man! Jam! Fucking Raiders, man! Fucking Derek Carr, man! Derek Carr, oh, fucking shit, man! And then the Derek Carr lovers are like, it was the offensive line! It was the offense. Everybody, because Raider fans are passionate. They're beautiful people, they're very passionate, and we love who we love. And I'm proud to be a part of Raider Nation. What's up, JC Raider? What's up, A-Guy? What's up, Critique, Dark Atheist? I see you guys chatting, NorCal Raider, Jesse. Thank you guys. Keep that chat up. Talk to yourselves. Listen to my words. Get mad at me. Get happy with me. Whatever. It's all good as long as we're talking. Here's the Raiders rushing game, and I have a big problem with this. This is one of the problems with the scheme in the game for me. Josh Jacobs with only 10 carries, 57 yards. That explains the aggressive mindset by Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels. Brandon Bolden with 3 carries and 7 yards. Where's Amir Abdullah? Where's Zamir White? Where's Josh Jacobs with at least 15 carries in a game? The game plan was clearly to get Derek Carr and Davante Adams and Darren Waller all involved in the game. I think that backfired because the Chargers defense and their cornerback situation with Derwin James, I don't think J.C. Jackson played, but they got one hell of a secondary backfield. And their defensive line is aggressive. With Khalil Mack in a revenge game against the Raiders, but loving Derek Carr, you know he wanted to play out. Joey Bosa talking crap about Derek Carr. He is a good player. He's a stupid player. He's like a Super Mario Brothers turtle from the movie that's just dumb with the big head. Oh, I'm Joey Bosa. I sack a quarterback. I don't know why I sounded Asian right there. I sack a quarterback. I've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai lately. You know, or Chosen. They had a very aggressive defensive line. And the Raiders could have taken advantage of it in the run game. But again, we have some offensive line woes. We got young players. They kept moving people in and out. The Raiders' rushing game should have been the focal point of this game, like a John Gruden offense. I know Josh McDaniels wanted to do his offense in this game, but it should have been a John Gruden-esque offensive game plan. Run the ball with fullbacks and blah, blah, blah. You know, gain yardage up the field, throw the ball 5, 6, 7 yards, blah, blah, blah. Control the time of possession. But Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr were a little too aggressive. So by the time they wanted to possibly run, they're probably already down by 10, 14 points at the time. And, you know, they're like, oh, we got to get the ball to Waller. We got to get the ball to Adams. You know, we got to get the D&D connection of Derek Carr and Davante. So the rushing game was not so great. It was not so great. And I think we should have done more rushes. And we should have had more plays there, you know, in the rushing game. Especially running backs on screens or out of the backfield. Let's be honest. That was one of the big things that was missing in this game. Yes, they completed a couple of passes to running backs out of the backfield for good plays. Take advantage of the aggressiveness of the Chargers defense, where they're always blitzing, trying to sack Derek Carr. You should have had more running backs out of the backfield, like within 5 or 6 yards on screens to the left and to the right. But again, Derek Carr was too aggressive. He targeted the players down the field. He didn't go to outlets. And I don't know if they called that many outlet game plans. This should have been a game plan where it's more within the first 10 yards with running backs out of the backfield, going up the middle, spreading the field, crisscross, mishmash, blah, blah, blah. I'm not an expert. But they could have done more of that because it was working. Take advantage of the Chargers' defensive line that's really aggressive and getting to Derek Carr. Let them in. Oh, let them in. Go ahead. And then, boom, throw an outlet. That should have happened more. So I blame McDaniels in the game plan, not calling those plays. I also blame Derek Carr for possibly not looking at his outlets. And then they missed some blocks. Some of the Raiders running backs did not block correctly enough. Their man, hence why the defensive line got to Derek Carr more often than not. But it wasn't a fullback-centric game plan. You know, you should have had 2 tight end sets a lot more with Foster Moreau to block for the run game, Josh McDaniels. Now let's look at the Chargers. Look how many Chargers running backs at least touched the ball. Austin Eckler, 14 carries for 36. We did a hell of a good job on our defensive line with Billings and the other players stopping the run. We did a heck of a good job on defense. It was a really good game for our defense. It wasn't perfect. It was like a bend don't break. But we did really, really good. Josh Kelly, 4 carries, 21. Sony Michel, 7 carries for 12. He got the big first downs at the end of the game to continue the clock rolling. So they ended up winning. They also had, wide receivers doing runs, Josh Palmer. And then Justin Herbert. He ran 4 times, apparently. Only got 1 yard. We did a good defensive game plan for what we got. We had some injuries early on defense with Trayvon Morgan and all that. We'll get into that in a minute. But I liked our defense for the most part. Now, let's look at the receiving stats. And this will give you a big, big picture on the game plan and also really who Derek Carr was targeting. Davante Adams, 10 receptions for 141 yards and 1 touchdown with a long of 41. Look at his targets. 17. Look, I like that as a fantasy football player because I have Davante Adams on like 3 out of my 5 teams. I like that as a fantasy football player. But we need to spread the ball around a little bit more. Okay? And that's a lot of targets. I mean, typically I'd rather see Davante Adams with like maybe 14 targets at most, maybe 8, 9, 10 receptions. Again, I'm not blaming that game. Let's look at Waller. He didn't get targeted. Waller, to my knowledge, did not get targeted till maybe the second or third quarter, where he started catching some very important, I don't want to say balls. Catches balls. He catches balls with his mouth. Darren Waller caught some good ones, but like into the second or into the third and fourth. 4 receptions, 79 yards, a long of 31. 6 targets. Brandon Bolden. Now, the running backs out of the backfield. Look at this. Brandon Bolden out of the backfield. Receptions 2 for 21 and a touchdown for a long of 18 with 2 targets. He got targeted twice. He got caught the ball twice out of the backfield. That explains what I just said. How that out of the backfield game would have worked with tight ends going short, running backs cutting it out, or a fullback, blah, blah, blah. A John Gruden type-esque game plan would have stalled the Chargers defense a little bit more. Mac Hollins with 1 target. Josh Jacobs with 1 target, 1 catch, again out of the backfield. Amir Abdullah with 1 target, no receptions. That was a bad play out of the backfield. But there it is. 295 yards, only 35 targets in the game. I said only because we probably needed 45 to win the game. But there's the tale. I mean, the truth is in the stats. The truth is in the stats. Now, whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. Forgive me. So many buttons here. Now let's look at the Chargers wide receivers. Boy, they spread the ball around. I know Keenan Allen got injured, but look what they did. They spread the ball around a lot. And almost every target they caught. Because they were not getting pressure on Justin Hebert as good as they could. The Raiders' defensive line did not get that much pressure. Keenan Allen, 4 for 66, along a 42 with 4 targets. Carter, I don't know his full name, but 3, he came out of nowhere. 3 for 64 with 1 touchdown. 4 targets, 3 catches. Keenan Allen, 4 targets, 4 catches. Gerald Everett, the tight end, 3 for 54 with a touchdown, 4 targets. Austin Eckler out of the backfield. He did better out of the backfield than rushing. 4 for 36, 4 targets. 4 targets, 4 catches out of the backfield. McKitty. Oh, little McKitty. Little McKitty. 3 for 24, 4 targets. Joshua Kelly out of the backfield. 2 for 14, 2 targets. Mike Williams had a really sucky game. Long time ago when he played us, he had like 119 yards. 2 for 10, 4 targets. And there it is. I mean, they had less passing than us, but they won the game. Derek Carr threw 35 targets. Justin Hebert threw 34. But more of Justin Hebert's targets were out of the backfield to tight ends, and they connected more. And he didn't throw it into triple, double, quadruple coverage like Derek Carr did, being too aggressive to get his guys the ball. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Now, this is the tale of the game. Not only the interceptions, I mean, turnovers killed us, but look at the fumbles. The Chargers don't even have any fumbles, really. They might have had 1, but they didn't lose it. Look at the fumbles. Whether we recovered them or not, Derek Carr with 2, because he was getting pressure all day. Hunter Renfrow with 1 when he caught the ball and they hit him. Colton Miller apparently had a fumble, but that was a fumble recovery when Derek Carr or somebody did it, like he bounced on it. John Simpson with a recovery. That just meant that the ball, from the Raiders' perspective and their side, was being fumbled everywhere. Everywhere. Do me a favor, hit that like, that thumbs up, that subscribe button. Please, everybody. Get me to 50 likes. I'd appreciate it. Appreciate it. If you can get me to 100, that'd be even more appreciative. Because maybe then I'll go in the algorithm and other people will see me. They'll be like, where did Mikey Raider go? I haven't seen Mikey Raider. Is that a new channel? I think that's a new channel. Yep, YouTube deplatformed me almost. All right, let's look at the Raiders defense. What's up, Kevin Hooks? The AJ Raider, Dominic 5, guys talking in the line. All right, I'm proud of the Raiders defense. I thought they played a bend, don't break. They gave up key plays, but long story short, the defensive line stopped Austin Eckler in the Chargers rushing game for the most part. But they didn't get a lot of sacks. And I believe they didn't get too many pressures on Justin Herbert. Herbert, what French? He's French. It's Hebert. Justin Hebert. Justin, shut the hell up. I don't care. Jonathan Abram had the biggest game in terms of total tackles because our cornerbacks got injured early. Trayvon Morg left the game. I forgot who else. But Deron Harmon was in there a lot. I mean, we played good. We were all around too aggressive. People say, well, if you're aggressive, you're gonna get punches in. Not all the time. Not all the time. Jonathan Abram with 9 solo tackles. He was all over the field. I'm very proud of Jonathan Abram. I claimed him to be my MVP this season because I just felt like he put it all together, and he's going to be all around the field and whatever. But that means the ball was in the backfield a little bit too much for my often. Max Crosby. Now, this is a great stat for Max Crosby. he had 10 tackles as a defensive edge rusher. I guarantee you when we look at it, I don't remember. I guarantee you Khalil Mack didn't have as many tackles. I guarantee you Joey Bosa did not have as many tackles as Max Crosby did. So Max Crosby, I guess his scheme plan was to more go after the rushing game than the quarterback unless it's third down. I mean, but where was our other defensive end, Chandler Jones, with tackles? Nowhere to be found. So I think in this game plan, Chandler Jones was the go after the quarterback person more so all the time than Max Crosby. Max Crosby was told to stay home, follow the running backs, do the tackles and all that other stuff, and then maybe on third down or certain occasions go after the quarterback with all his moves and his might. Nate Hobbs, fantastic player. Best player in the backfield for us. 9 total tackles, 6 solo, 2 tackles for loss when he crept up or they blitzed. I expected Jonathan Abram to blitz a little bit more like they used to in the preseason. Didn't happen. Divine Diablo as a linebacker, 7 total tackles, 4 solo. Rock Yashin, 6, 5 solo. And then look at Bilal Nichols, Duron Harmon, Perryman. You would think, you would want, honestly, you would want like a Max Crosby or a Denzel Perryman to have the most tackles on a defense. Because that means the players, even the wide receivers, didn't get out past, 8, 9, 10 yards where the linebackers are to get into the backfield if they had the most tackles. So I would prefer if Perryman, Diablo, and the front line had more tackles than a Nate Hobbs and a Jonathan Abram. But to each their own. The Raiders defense, they played good. Truthfully, you got to keep teams under 20 points, 21 points, hopefully, to be a real top 10 defense. But for many years, we were giving up 29 points, 30 points, 33 points, 28 points. We held a really good Chargers offense and a very capable quarterback and a very good run game, even without Keenan Allen, to 24 points. If we can continue doing this with our offense, we're going to typically score more than 24 points in a game. So defensively, if we can keep teams under 24, 25 points, we're going to win a lot of games. It was just one of those games, guys. Like, you guys want, I'm not saying you do, but you might want to take, like, all the badness from this game. The Raiders' defense looked good. Top 15. Top 15. They held the quarterback under 300 yards. They held the rushing game under 100 yards. We looked good. We got little things to fix, little things to improve upon, schemes to figure out, but we looked damn good on defense. The offense just wasn't able to keep up, but we got to get more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. That's all I'm going to say. All right, now let's look at the Chargers defense. Notice a lot less tackles by the out in front people. Derwin James in the backfield, 6 for 6 with 1 loss. Khalil Mack wreaking havoc, 6 tackles. He played the Max Crosby role. 5 solo, 3 tackles for loss. Where's Joey Bosa? 3 tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, 1.5 sack. Khalil Mack had the better day. Khalil Mack clearly amped up his energy for this game. Khalil Mack was prepared. But their backfield played excellent. Their cornerback backfield played excellent. Confused Derek Carr on occasions. Covered up the wide receivers. They knew what was coming. They've seen Derek Carr 2-3 years in a row, some of them, and they knew what was coming. And then Derek Carr was over-aggressive, didn't look for his reads, wanted to force it into his guys. That's the tell of the tape. But the 2 towers on 9/11, the 2 towers for the Chargers won that game on 9/11. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa with the pressure. And that brings us to the Raiders' offensive line. Let's quickly talk about the Raiders' offensive line. Our right tackle situation is bad. We possibly have one of the worst right sides of the offensive line in the entire NFL. And that really hurts me to say. A lot of mistakes were made, whether it be drafting by Gruden, releasing players, or them not panning out, or whatever. But Thayer Mumford, and I can't even think of the other guy's name, went back and forth at the right tackle throughout the game. They didn't show much belief in the right tackle position and their players. Even though their players were getting beat, whether it be by Bosa or Mack or whatever, Joey Bosa, let's be honest though, Colton Miller had a bad game as well. How much of the preseason did he play? Khalil Mack knew all his moves. They played together for a few years. Knew his moves. They did it in practice. Khalil Mack knew how to beat Zach Miller more so than often. And then they had some bull rush moves against our right guards and our centers. Some bull rush moves that just powered them back. Our offensive line struggled. Derek Carr knew it. Derek Carr was afraid. He went into the game after being hit, throwing an interception, getting pressure. Derek Carr played the rest of the game scared with the yips. And rightfully so. They were in the backfield all day. Thayer Mumford, the right tackle, Lester Cotton played right guard. For 3 years, Lester Cotton was on the practice squad. He got cut. They brought him back. He was on the practice squad last year. Then this year, he's vaunted into starting lineup. I'm not saying he's not good enough. He hasn't figured it all out clearly, hence why he was on the practice squad. But apparently, with our reserve and our depth, with Josh McDaniels' scheme, Lester Cotton is the best man for the job at right guard, according to Josh McDaniels and our offensive line coach. Now, when it comes to Thayer Mumford and the other guy, forgive me, I can't think of the name, the right tackle, they kept coming in back and forth. They were getting beat often, whatever, getting pressure on Carr, and the coaching staff had no damn confidence to keep one player in there. Maybe the players went out for injury's sake to catch a breather because they were not in shape. I don't know. Thayer Mumford missed like a week or two in training camp, and I don't know what happened there. But I do technically remember the right tackle spot being changed. Like every new series. Like if a series went bad, they'd replace him with Mumford. And then if a series went bad with Mumford, they replace him with the other guy. Jermaine Illuminor. Thank you, Van City Raider. They kept replacing him. How is a player going to gain confidence if you keep replacing them back and forth, back and forth? Now, barring injuries or taking time off for, to catch your breath, it's not a good game plan. Just throw him into the fire. Let him learn. And as the game progresses, maybe Mumford, if he was in there every series, would start putting it a little bit together. A little bit together. They did too much damn mix and match. I thought you did enough of that during the fucking preseason to figure out your offensive line. If you have no confidence, Josh McDaniels, in those guys, you need to go out in free agency, and if you got $5, $10, $15 million left, whatever the hell it is, you need to spend that shit on a right tackle. Because clearly, you have no confidence right now in any of them. Maybe even not Lester Cotton. Maybe even in your left guard. I don't know. But you got to put these players in. You got to let them play. If they're young and dumb, they got to play to become smart. But if they don't really have it, the physicality on the field, they shouldn't even be on the team. How do we go from one of the best offensive lines under Gruden to one of the worst in week 1? You got to fix that shit. Got to fix that shit. All right, there it is. Carr had the yips. But the offensive line had no hips. All right, what's up, everybody? Let's take a phone call. And let's hear what Raider Junkie had to say. We only got one phone call. I want to remind everybody, the phone call, the chat line, the rant line is down below. After every game, try to remember, if you want to speak your voice, your opinion of the game, leave your voicemail on the phone number down below, and I'll have it on the post-game review show. Then, if you guys call during this show to talk about the game, I will have it on Raider Football Talk on Friday. But if you do it right after the game, it'll technically be on future post-game review shows, okay? Van City Raider, what did you say? I said, I have a feeling there's going to be a pretty busy week for Dave Ziegler. It should be. It should be. They ain't got no money, though. I think they had like $15 million left, and they gave Darren Waller like 17 this year, like a 3-year, $51 million contract. They're fucking broke. They're broke. Look at next year's payroll. They're going to have like 15 players on the team, and then they're going to have like $3 million to sign 40 other players. Woo! But let's be honest, the Raiders are all in. The Raiders are all in. They're spending on the big players because Josh McDaniels wants to have a winning season. He wants to. He wants to prove it to Bill Belichick. He wants to prove it to the league, when he was in Denver. And, remember he was 4-0 when he was in Denver? And then, the shit hit the fan. Well, the shit hit the fan this week. And I'm actually happy that Josh McDaniels lost his first game. Because we were 5-0 or 4-0 in the preseason. And I typically don't want to be 4-0 in the preseason. I mean, it's good to win. Because it's just win, baby. I'm actually happy that Derek Carr shit the bed. Josh McDaniels shit the bed. The offensive line shit the bed. Get it all out of your system in week 1. You were all too aggressive. Your game plan was too aggressive. This and that. You didn't, you were all excited because in preseason, we don't have to play Derek Carr. We got Jed Stidham. We're winning games. We're 3-0. We're 2-0. We won the Hall of Fame game in McDaniels' hometown. We're good. We're a good-looking team. You overestimated yourself. Thank goodness you guys lost. Well, why did I say you guys? Our guys. I mean, thank goodness for our mentality. That sounded really bad. Thank goodness for our mentality that we shit the bed, and hopefully we get it all out of our system early. Because we got 3 more games against AFC West rivals or AFC rivals in the next 4 games. Out of the first 5 or 6 weeks, we're playing the entire AFC West. So it's kind of good to lose sometimes early. So that way you figure it out, you fix it, and then moving forward, all the positive signs that we had in this game, we can move forward with. This game was positive. It was a very positive game in a lot of aspects. I mean, we look good on offense. We know we can get the ball to Adams. We know we can get the ball to Waller again. We know we can get the ball to Renfro. We know that Josh Jacobs can run decently. We know that players out of the backfield can catch the ball. It didn't happen enough, but we know it can be done. Derek Carr is going to have to realize that there might be a little more pressure on him from good defenses that we play than he wants. Derek Carr is going to have to learn how to get the ball out a little bit quicker. Derek Carr is going to possibly have to start learning to try to move out of the pocket. They're going to have to add some plays for Derek Carr to move out of the pocket a little bit. You got to spread the field. I know Derek Carr's not a running quarterback or however athletic quarterback as they would say. But you got to put in a few game plans and a few plays to show that athleticism. Now, hear me this. That fucking play, that hokey dokey wide receiver, flea flicker, hocus pocus, alakazam bullshit pissed me the fuck off. How does a play get called in a game where Derek Carr becomes the lead blocker? How does a play get called where they're in the backfield almost 90% of the time? How does a play get called where Derek Carr becomes the lead blocker for Davante Adams to become the quarterback to throw the ball to Hunter Renfrow? How does that happen, Josh McDaniels? Derek Carr could have got injured on that damn play. Joey Bosa or whoever hit him that he had to block for could have nailed him accidentally in the legs. We could have lost Carr for the season. I don't know how many points we were down by that point, maybe 10. What the hell was that hokey dokey alakazam magic pocus? Bullshit. That's not a time and a place and a game that you do a play like that. Maybe for the first play of the game, you get it, where we don't really know how their defense is playing. Maybe the first play of the game, Josh joke. Maybe you do it on the first play of the game. But not after they've been pressuring Derek Carr, throwing interception. Maybe you wanted to put Davante in there to not throw interceptions. I don't know. But you don't do that. Maybe on the first play of the game. But not when we're down by 14 by a defense that's aggressive. And you can only do plays like that when they're spreading the field. And when the opposing defense is not so great. Because then you know Davante Adams will have time. Derek Carr will have time to possibly, move out of the backfield. How the hell do you make a play where Derek Carr becomes the lead blocker? The right tackle. I guess they wanted to play Derek Carr at right tackle. Because Derek Carr became the right tackle on that play. It was a ridiculous play call. Thank your lucky stars that nobody got injured. Thank your lucky stars that nobody got injured. Davante Adams even got hit by 3 players, like Steven just said. Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. Again, it's the first game. A lot of mistakes were made. You guys didn't know how to call the game perfectly. I understand that. You can only do that as the first play of the game, or maybe coming out of halftime with the ball, or versus a defense that doesn't get that much pressure that we kind of have all day to throw. And then make Derek Carr get out of the way. Don't put him at right tackle in a play. I know he wasn't there technically. But if you're going to make a play call like that, let Derek Carr pretend to be a wide receiver and run on the outside. But they were in there too quick to where Derek Carr had to become a blocker. It was ridiculous. I'm done. My goodness. All right, y'all. Let's listen to Raider Junkie's voicemail. Get his perspective from the game. And again, go ahead and feel free to call the Raider Rants hotline after the game. And I'll get you on the post-game show. But if you call during this show or after this show, I'll get you on Friday's Raider Football Talk. Let's listen to Raider Junkie, y'all.
What's up, Mikey Raider? Raider Junkie here. I know it's been a long time since I've called in. But, hey, I'm feeling a lot better, and I got excited for the season, only to be let down by Carr's worst game I've ever seen in his opening day career.
Wasn't that bad, brother?
I just believe that they did not have enough time to practice in preseason. They should have took maybe a game to play a half series or so, because the timing was totally off. He was forcing it to Dante Adams too much. Renfrow was a no-show in the first half.
Yep.
So To me, they need a lot of work on the offense. Defensive cannot be out there that long, especially with those interceptions. So Derek needs to clean up his game. There's 16 games to go. No need to panic, Raider Nation. We just need to clean up a lot of football. And this is what happens when you don't play your starters in preseason, whether it's a series or two or a quarter in the last preseason game. They look totally rusted. And Derek Carr needs to really look at that film, and he will see where all his mistakes. Let's see if they can clean it up against the Cardinals. All right, Mikey. I'll talk to you later. Raider Nation, Raider Junkie, I'm out.
Thank you for the phone call, Raider Junkie. And people are saying he sounds a little buzzed or drunk. He probably is. Most Raider fans are, technically. Let's be honest with you. So, I couldn't agree more. Hunter Renfrow was a no-show early on because, like Derek Carr said, he wanted to target Davante Adams. They wanted to create the D&D connection. They did do that. The world is on notice that Davante Adams and Derek Carr moving forward are going to be one heck of a combination. And that's all we could ask for. We got to take positives from the game. We have to. I'm proud of this team, and we look good on offense. We are going to be scarier as the weeks go along. Knock on wood, barring any injuries, we're going to be scary. But our offensive line has to get a little bit better. But we are scary. We are an amazing offense, barring the struggles of the offensive line. And our defense played pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I know they gave up a lot, but when you look at the stats, our defense played pretty damn good. All over the field, very aggressive. And, you know, they got some grit, as in Hard Knocks for the Detroit Lions. They got some grit. And I like the fight back and the bounce back and the never give up attitude. I think by one point we might have been down by 14, 17. Not exactly sure. But I love our Raider team moving forward. A guy said, I have seen Carr play worse against Kansas City. I agree, guy. And in some playoff games, like at the end of possession when he throws an interception to try to tie the game up, those are some bad throws, man. A guy said he's living up to his name. What did I call this video? A car wreck in LA. MACK Revenge. D&D Connects. M85, how you doing? No complacency. Mikey Raider, Tony, when you making those chili game hot dogs again? I make them all the time. You guys just don't see it. Van City, we didn't bring Davante in to just play with Derek. We brought him in to play with DC, Waller, Jacobs, and Renfrow. That's a good point. But technically, by that quote that you said, dude, it sounds like Davante is selfish, that he wants the ball for himself. No, that's what Derek Carr did to him early on in this game and a little quite often. But you're completely right. They will figure out the team aspect and their strengths and weaknesses moving forward. Again, remember, let's be honest. This is the first time they got on the field together in a game. I know they did it at practice and all that against Raiders and a couple of scrimmages against other teams. This is the first time they did it in a basically sold-out game. And they were too aggressive. They're, like Derek Carr made mistakes. It was a little too much. They got to learn how to be even-keeled, man. Complacency at practice, complacency on Sunday. M85, you're being a real harsh critic. And I love that about you. But you got to take some positives from this game, my dude. Raider Lux. A car got wrecked. Mack truck in LA. There you go. That's a good one. I might change the title. All right, everybody. We've been online about an hour. I just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in, being a part of this post-game review show. I'm going to try to every Monday. I don't know what time. I have major health issues. Some days I wake up, I feel good. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have to lie down. It's kind of like a crapshoot. So I know I want to be consistent and give you guys the time. Just please hit that bell for notifications when I go live. And if you're awake and able to tune into the live show, then you can. But we will, hopefully, barring any setbacks, have a Raiders football talk this Friday where we get more of your phone calls. And maybe on Saturday, I'm going to get together the Raiders Roundtable this Saturday where we talk with Raider fans on StreamYard and we just have like a Raiders Roundtable game show. So stay tuned for that, guys. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. You guys have a beautiful, blessed day of life. And just realize it's only week 1. The Raiders had a tough day, but we look damn good. And you need to take positives and superlatives from this game. But overall, like somebody said, Van City Raider, Dave Ziegler, in my opinion, needs to do some work on the right side of the offensive line. Or if not, they just need to let their guys play and figure it out. I love you guys. Tony L., Jim Titus, Steven, John C., NorCal Raider, Dark Atheist. Love you guys. Have a blessed day of life. Take care of you and your family. Get healthy. Get some exercise. And realize every day of life is a good day. And don't hate on Carr too much. He just came too early, if you know what I'm saying. Love you guys. Blessings.